This is Sergio, and he's gonna be the MC of this next video on Geekazine.
Hey guys, how are you? It's Sergio Michel here with Geekazine again, and I have a huge pleasure of speaking to the man himself, Floyd Rose. I've been a sponsored artist with Floyd Rose since the beginning of my professional career, and he's a great guy. I can't say enough good things about him, but I'm going to say even more now. So here's Floyd Rose on Geekazine. How are you, Floyd?
Good.
Awesome.
Good to be with you.
Now, a lot of people have been asking a lot of questions about this particular bridge right here. It's called the FRX.
Yep.
Okay, and it retrofits any guitar with a stop tailpiece, right?
Basically, yeah.
Great. And can you tell us a little more about how easy it is to install? And
Sure. So this came about basically because lots of people that wanted a Floyd Rose had Les Pauls and other Gibson guitars, but they didn't want to route holes in the back like on a Strat style. You got the cabin in the back with the springs. And I've actually tried to do this a couple of times in the past, but with no success. So, but I have a gold top Les Paul myself that I wanted one on. So I gave it another try, and this is what I came up with. We call it the FRX, and it has a few features that are new. One, the spring is on top here, and it can be adjusted, the spring tension, instead of being hidden out of the way like a regular Strat style. You can adjust the tension of the spring here. It also has what I call a tremolo assist, which is a little detent and a ball on this side of the bridge, and that is to keep coming back exactly to the exact same spot. And also, because of the way the bridge is designed, it's a little easier to manipulate the bar, and so it made it a little too sensitive, so I put that on to stabilize it a little. That's why I call it a trim stabilizer. So this one also has a pull-out arm. It just pops out and in. I think it's the best way to do it now. So we offer this as aftermarket for a regular Floyd as well. And the only thing you have to do is to mount the nut. It actually goes behind the original nut, which on before a Floyd Rose nut, always you had to take off the original nut, route a flat spot and glue it on, and well, not glue it on, but bolt it on. And this one, you just use two wood screws, two small holes that mount this behind the nut, and it does the same thing as the original Floyd. Amazing. So you now can have a Gibson with a Flying V or an SG or a Les Paul, anything with a stop tailpiece. You can top mount this on without doing a lot of routing.
Now let's talk about your new signature line, because it has Floyd Rose on it. But these are your new guitars, and they have some awesome features on it.
So this has a standard tremolo on it, Floyd Rose tremolo. We are adding a feature this year that hasn't been possible before, and it came from the FRX. The fact that you can adjust the overall tension of the springs from the top of the guitar instead of through the back. You can expose here. There's a device here that you can actually, the springs underneath are attached to this, and you can adjust the overall tension for setup from the top instead of taking the plate off, which is a pain. There's two versions of headstock. We just have one right now, and we have a couple other issues. For years, I never used, as a player, I never used the tone control because it rolls the high end off and it goes too deep down into like 2K range, which is where you get the treble or the high end on pickups, and it would, when you roll it down, it would get too dark sounding. It really wasn't useful, so I redesigned the tone control, which obviously you can't tell until you play it. But all the guitar players that have been trying this guitar with the tone circuit have really loved it, because it takes and makes a very smooth sound. If you set your amp to be as bright as you want, then you can, and it's too bright for some things, you can just turn this about a quarter turn or a little more, and so it does all kinds of new sounds that you weren't able to get before. One other feature of the new guitar that I'm trying out on guitar players that hasn't existed before, I call it the Pick Glide, and years ago when I was learning to play fast licks, you know, doing every note and picking them all, I was having trouble learning, so I put a plate underneath the strings to help that would limit how far down I could bite on the pick. So now you have this limiter, so when you play fast licks, you have a limiter, so it assists you in playing when you play really fast. This is a standard Tele pickup, which is one of the most popular pickups ever on old Telecaster, and it's the rear bridge pickup, and it's normally canted this way. And the front pickup on a Tele is a very dark and useless pickup. So I decided what I needed to do to get that single coil sound is to put it up here and reverse it so that the low strings don't get too muddy when you play on the forward pickup. And again, it's a big hit at the show. The other product line I've come out with last year are headphones. These are going over really well with DJs especially. In fact, this is the headphone with the logo of one of the most famous DJs. And so we have this version, we have a Bluetooth version, and then this is the brand new, what we call a surround sound. You just have to hear it to believe it. The sound is incredible on these. Wow. So anyway, that's my new headphone line, my new guitar, and the new FRX. Awesome. That's covered just about everything for now.
Oh yeah. And one last question. You know, a lot of people aren't aware that you also have those branded pickups, and they sound good.
Yeah. About 12 years ago, I did a guitars with a bridge called a speed loader, where double ball ends, you put it into the nut in here, and you snap it in, and the string comes up to tune.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I designed a set of pickups. There's the gold version, which is like a PAF. It's kind of the vintage sound, but improved. Yes. And then there's the red, the green, and the blue series, and they all have different characteristics depending on what it is you want as a guitar player. Different output levels. The blues are a little brighter. Different magnets. All technical guitar stuff. So if you don't play guitar and get into this, you probably won't know what we're talking about. But it's fun stuff for us guitar players.
So Floyd, what's the range in the prices for those headphones?
Well, they start about, these are just under $100 for these, for the wood. These are wood. It's hard to tell because we have a logo on this one, but these are also wood grained, and they come in different types of wood. And then this is a new surround sound. This is brand new this year, so we haven't priced this one, but I think it's going to be around $150, which is great prices for this quality of headphones.
Okay. And what are you shooting for with the new guitar line?
I want to keep it under 3,000 American.
And lastly, for the FRX, what's the range?
The FRX, I believe, is now, I haven't looked in a while, it's around 250, I think.
Okay.
But it might be more for the FRX. I get them confused because we have the new rail tail as well.
Of course.
And that's expensive because it's all machined. So they vary. You can find the prices, though, on the website, floydrose.com, and then floydroseaudio.com for the prices on the headphones.
Great. Well, guys, this is Sergio Michel with Geekazine, and it was an honor and a privilege to speak to Floyd Rose today.
Good to see you.
And you have 2 days to come to NAMM, so
yep.
you can make it.
Come down.